All right, algorithms, it's Friday night and it's lazy ladies' night. Welcome to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. I'm your judge, Al Reynolds, and today we're diving into the legal battles that have captured headlines and divided public opinion concerning celebrities, politics, and of course, social issues. I'm joined by an esteemed group of legal beagles, and joining us tonight will be that fiery attorney, Shatan Turner. Welcome to Celebrity Court.
Hi, Your Honor. Hi, algoriters. It's ladies' night, but we won't be lazy.
Also joining her and working together for the first time with attorney counselor Turner will be Brittany. Brittany, please welcome to Celebrity Court. Brittany Porter, sorry. Please welcome to Celebrity Court.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here, and let's get to the business.
We decided with ladies' night, we were going to allow alcohol into the chambers, into the courtroom. So everybody take a sip for ladies' night. All right, we got some interesting topics tonight. I got to tell you, it's going to be steamy here in Celebrity Court. We're going to be breaking down all the hot headlines and all the dramas in relationships, riots, January 6th riots, what else? All types of stuff. Anyway, don't forget, throw in a fire emoji in the chat for Attorney Turner. Throw in the fax emoji in the chat for myself. And Brittany Porter, what did we say yours was going to be again? The unicorn?
The unicorn, baby.
All right, and throw in the unicorn for our legal beagle, Brittany Porter. All right, court is now in session. First up. Oh, wait. Okay, first up, Skai Jackson. Oh, my goodness. Skai Jackson's boyfriend was arrested shortly after her pregnancy announcement, sending shockwaves through social media. This raises questions about the timing of his arrest, the charges he faces, and how it would impact Skai's personal life, as well as her public image as it relates to her deal over at Disney. Attorney Turner, take it away.
So, yeah, like my kids love Skai, and I love Skai. It's Jessie is a good show. She's a talented girl. She's also on Bunk. She's on a bunch of stuff, and we follow her, and her star is rising. And as you've seen from people like Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, being a Disney star can result in setting you up for life, right?
Right.
Unfortunately for Skai, and I believe in love, and I also recognize that sometimes your heart leads you astray, falling for Yerky might have been a mistakey.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, they just keep getting into trouble, right? First, there was this whole thing with them fighting and her getting arrested and them saying, no, we're really in love, we're engaged, and she's pregnant. Now the pregnancy's been revealed, and he's on a parole violation, and he's got that hairstyle. Like, I don't really understand what is happening here, but what I do know is Disney has a morality clause, and Skai may be loving herself into unemployment, and that baby's got to eat. She don't want that government cheese. So Wick is not her friend. She's going to have to figure out at some point, does she want her boyfriend or does she want to get that check?
Why do, according to Attorney Porter, why every time we see them in any of the rags, anywhere on social media, why does she always look a mess?
Because this is a classic case of what happens when your goody two-shoe girl falls in love with the EBT dingaling, okay? Now, I'm just going to go ahead.
You said the EBT dingaling.
EBT dingaling, okay?
All right, y'all are off the chain. You guys are off the order in the court.
You're supposed to hit it and quit it, child. You're not supposed to fall in love.
We will not be calling the black man's dingaling EBT dingaling.
Not the black man, that black man. That's EBT dingaling. Okay? Compared to her. Now, I will say this, all right? It's a really unfortunate situation because when you look into the history of their relationship, and this is one thing I always heard, and I think it was Rick James who said this, that love is a hell of a drug. because it can really have you out here in these streets looking crazy. Like this guy has not only tweeted about her and called her a dumb Disney Channel B word. He got 2 kids already, you know. I guess there's allegations that he and her used to be pen pals back when he was in jail. There's allegations that he almost murdered somebody. And for me, it's not as shocking to see that she landed with this type of individual, because for those of you that were following her social media back in 2020, when she was going back and forth with Bad Baby, that told you what type of guys and you know how she liked to get down. And
I didn't know. So do share. I didn't. Bring me up to speed.
Yeah, so back in 2020, there was some type of beef between her and Bad Baby that led to her filing a restraining order against Bad Baby.
Wow.
And that's when, you know, the curtain started to get peeled back and you realize that she wasn't necessarily the character that she played on TV, that she liked to get down. And there's nothing wrong with getting down, but you know, you need to know how to get back up and you need to know how to be down in private. And the problem now is you have this little girl who has grown up on Disney, had this perfect background and persona, who now, because she messing with this EBT dangling out here barefoot in public with a bonnet on, looking all types of crazy. And it's like, girl, you're messing up your money. Disney don't play that. Period.
She might be multi-layered though, so maybe she is the good girl and she's got this other side. But all I can think about is this song by DMX. And as you guys know, the songs I tend to bring up on the show were not the most popular of the artists, because when I like an artist, I go in. But does anybody remember that DMX song, Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Guys?
Yeah.
Why do good girls like bad guys? And then there's a whole thing and you get the DMX part. But anyway,
you telling my age
is what is happening here with Skai. She's the good girl. She likes bad guys. And unfortunately, she's experiencing some lifelong bad consequences. So hopefully she'll have the baby, will be able to neutralize his effect in a negative way on this baby's life and keep it moving. I wish the best for her and this baby.
You know, when I look at stuff like this, I immediately think about, and I know it's not the same, but I immediately think about Keke Palmer and her boyfriend. Not that it's dissimilar, because he's not like this guy.
But you know, a Disney background.
Yeah, the Disney background, as well as guys, both of you, the dad and the mom. You know, everything that you're doing right now and you're bringing to social media and how you're behaving can be used against you in court when it comes to child custody issues or child support issues or any of that, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely. So the child support or the child custody standard is what's in the best interest of the child. And so it's a comprehensive analysis of what both parents bring, and it's a character assessment. It is an entire overlook to try to determine prospectively what's the best interest of the child based on the facts that are known. And so you're right. People need to be careful. Like, people need to be careful about flying off at people on social, getting into fights, getting arrested, like all of that kind of stuff is considered by the judge and determine whether or not that is in the best interest of the child. It's particularly relevant when one party is seeking primary legal and physical custody, because that requires the judge to say this parent is better than that parent for custody of this child.
Really quickly, Brittany, talk to me about how, like, this is serious. People don't understand how these huge media companies like Disney, they pay you gazillions of dollars, but they also handcuff you with different, like Attorney Turner mentioned earlier, morality clauses. Talk to me about how damaging this could be for someone like Skai, who's on a Disney brand, which does not play this, and how being associated with someone facing criminal charges could influence her public image and possibly her contract with Disney.
Oh, definitely. I mean, honestly, now that Skai's about to be a mother, she just needs to see it from her own perspective. I mean, think about it. As a parent, Do you want your child watching and looking up to someone who's out here being portrayed in the media as a baby mama who's out here in these streets fighting her baby daddy? Luckily for her, those charges never went anywhere, but that exposed her. We don't know behind the scenes what type of contracts and deals she lost out on because of that thing, and when you're playing at such a high level and you have so much to lose, it's so interesting to see someone like Skai in this position, because if you know a little bit about her background, she has a very overprotective mother. And sounds like, Mama, where you at? Come get your baby. She out here exposed, and not only is that messing with, her future, it's messing with her present and how she's able to even move forward and negotiate deals to the extent that
That's right. That's right. That's a very good point. I'm glad that you brought that up, because you got to remember, in Hollywood, it's all about your rate. So if you work so hard, especially as a child star, if you work so hard and you are at this top rate, people don't understand this. Once you erode that rate, then you do something bad, like get caught, go to prison or something like that, especially on these huge platforms, your rate decreases. And that's when you start to see them spiral out of control. All right. Any other words here for Skai Jackson, except for we're going to send up a prayer for this young lady right here.
Pray for her and the baby.
In the baby. All right, next up in celebrity court, oh my goodness, ex-NFL player Antwione Williams has been charged in connection with the January 6th Capitol Riot. His alleged involvement brings renewed attention to the role of public figures in the insurrection and the legal consequences they face. Attorney Turner, talk to me about what's going on with Antwione, and someone was in the chamber, shared with me how they identified him. Was that you, Attorney Porter?
Yeah, that was me. He forgot to take off the red key fob that he wears everywhere he goes.
Oh, the one that we see here in the picture.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they identified him?
He identified himself at that point.
Wow.
Okay.
Because he has on a face mask. I was wondering how they knew it was him. He has on a mask. He has on a hat. He looks undescriptive.
And he got his red key fob.
Okay. So does Attorney Turner, do you want to break down what his criminal charges are?
So, yeah. Quick thing, though, about the identifying characteristics. I caught someone cheating on their wife once, because this is just my life. Because they had a distinctive car and personalized tags and were driving their mistress around on a prominent roadway in broad daylight. So the lesson to the algoriters about this key fob is, if you have something that's unique, right? Don't bring it to the crime. Don't have your mistress in the car, right? You do not do sneaky things when you can be easily identified. And so that's something that everybody should know. As officers of the court, I'm sure Brittany and I would say, just don't do bad things generally. But if you're going to do them, be careful, be thoughtful, be mindful, be demure, right? Okay. Anyway, he is facing
trespassing.
Yes, trespassing. He's also facing
unlawful entry, obstruction of official proceedings.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And it's on the law officer. You think he's going to get pardoned by Trump?
A host of federal crimes. Well, to the extent that they're federal crimes, Trump could. Now, I don't know if you caught this news today. Oh, there's our president. Mm-hmm. Now, how is he up there stealing the Black Panther-like 60s thing? That is not your move, dude. You need to do this. Okay. Anyway, I digress.
No more drinking on Celebrity Court. I've decided. No more
drinking on Friday night.
Right.
But what he released a statement today that is less comprehensive than what they were saying. So this whole transition plan with the new administration is an evolving topic. So initially, someone said he was going to pardon everybody who was up on charges for the insurrection. Today, and maybe it's because he saw a Black man was the first person who got these personalized charges, he said he's going to do it on a case-by-case basis. So it's unclear.
What would the case be? Like, what could it be?
It's
Like,
basically
what, case by case, about what? If you saw how they were swinging from that, they were swinging like monkeys, climbing the wall, throwing desks, like stealing stuff. Like, what case by case? All of them should go to jail.
Well, they're getting charged with attacking the law enforcement, and there's video of him actually attacking. Yeah.
If I were gonna do this, but this administration moves on the basis of the emotions and desires of one man. And I can't claim to read Trump's mind. But if you were going to do it in some sort of logical way, you might say those who were outside and only damaged property, like maybe I pardon them and I don't pardon those that were inside and threatening to murder the Speaker of the House, right? That could be a line that he draws, but I don't know what, because the statement that was released today didn't give clarity about what the criteria would be.
Okay. All right. Well, are we like, do we have empathy for this guy at all or no?
I don't.
Not at all. And the crazy thing is people they're waiting for Trump to pardon him. And I don't even know where you think he's going to get the time when he's trying to figure out how to pardon himself from all the charges that he's facing. Okay? And I need people to really understand, like, what happened on January 6th is out of this world, that people really thought that was okay. Because you don't realize, and I was looking at the facts today, their destruction caused over $2.8 million in damages. And guess who's paying for it? Us, right? Like, and so far since the incident occurred, there are actually, at the time of the incident, over, I think, 140 police officers were reported as being assaulted. And since the attack, I believe it's more than 1,500 people in all 50 states have been federally charged in connection with the attack. And more than 590 of them have been charged for assaulting law enforcement or obstructing those officers during a period of civil disorder. And so, like, these are very, very serious charges. And anyone that has any connection whatsoever to January 6th, lock them up, throw away the keys, and let's forget about them, period.
Because, I agree with that. I hate drawing these analogies, but this particular case, if that was, I'm just gonna say it, if that was Black and brown people that did the insurrection, how do you think this would have played out?
They wouldn't have gotten that close. There would have been a thought of an insurrection. Somebody would have been at the cookout talking about the insurrection. Someone would have had a plan for an insurrection. They would have had it written on a piece of paper. They never would have gotten that close to the Capitol. Let us be clear. If there were a bunch of Negroes, I'm going to say it, charging on Pennsylvania Avenue, on the mall, on the way to the Capitol, they would have been stopped before they got there. Let us be clear. Because it was not the majority of Black people, as my dad would say, that Detroit Lions guy would just say, he was a raisin in the milk. He was just in there amongst all those good white folks. Yeah, that's why he got as close.
What raisin in the milk?
Yes, he's old school, my dad is. Yeah, but
oh gosh, whoever, I never look. No more drinking. No more drinking in court. Y'all are showing out tonight.
The chocolate milk would not have made its way to the Capitol, and we all know it.
I wish we
had some facts because they barely wanted Martin Luther King out there.
Right, exactly.
They were ready to stop that. All right.
The March, they were trying to stop that. I find it so interesting.
And what this guy's gonna happen, he's gonna have this real N-word moment, okay, where he's going to find out exactly who he is, regardless of where he lies on the economic scale.
There you go. Okay? There you go.
Back to back of that front of that palm real quick, and that's going to show you who you really are.
They sure will. This is going to be a chance. All right, everybody. I told you it was going to be an interesting night, and we have not let you down. Next up, Offset and French rapper Gazo's explosive fight. Yeah, you heard me right. A fiery altercation between Offset and French rapper Gazo has fans speculating about the case or the cause of the feud. With tension running high, the clash highlights cultural differences in the global hip-hop scene, as well as the challenges of maintaining peace in the music industry. Attorney Turner, what say you about Offset? Isn't this your boo?
See, Your Honor, you just being messy right now because you know this ain't my boo. This ain't my boo. I have no good things to say about this man. I think Cardi B was the only thing that was holding him together and keeping him on the side of right based on what's happened since they broke up, right? So first of all, no respect for men who cheat on their spouses. Particularly no respect for men who cheat on their pregnant spouses and then drag them through social media afterwards, acting like she was the biggest hoe he ever met. You know,
Dang.
he that's what he's been saying. And he married her, he loved her, right? He knew she couldn't cook. She made a whole song about it. I can't cook, I can't clean. How you think I got this ring? Like there was no like she was open about it. But anyway, so I have no respect for men who roll like that. The other thing is he has a host of responsibilities. He's got children. What are they? 3 of them, right? And he up here fighting, right? Forget the fact that he's famous. Forget the fact that this is like some cultural war in the hip hop community. He is a grown man that decided to get in a fist fight with another grown man, and he's got responsibilities for an entire family. So miss me with his outrage. What got you so upset that you were willing to risk your liberty and the security of your children because you decide to get involved in some foolishness? So
also, Bailiff, do we have a video of this particular fight?
Discret.
I'm with you. Stop touching him. He's wrong. Wait, stop protecting him. Get in there. Hey.
Oh, that's all. That's it.
oh,
Dang. Wow.
my kids would say this is why we can't have nice things,
Exactly.
right? Like it sounds like Offset may have earned this butt whooping. I mean, I don't condone violence, but he was paid a lot of money to
Okay,
do
Bailiff.
that he
Okay,
didn't do. But yeah, it sounds like Offset may have earned this butt whooping because he was paid a lot of money to do something he didn't do. And so he might be facing breach of contract in addition to whatever criminal charges exist. We talked about this one concept, I think it was the last show, about how when you engage in criminal behavior, whatever happens as a result is your fault. So that lady who went down and she hit her head, like,
Yeah.
She didn't play it right. I would not have gotten up. I would have rolled over.
Right.
I neck break the next day.
I would have rolled over to my phone and called my lawyer. What
I would have called out of work. I don't got to work no more.
No, but y'all listen. You know why she got up?
1 million for me.
I'm going to represent her. The reason she got up is because she was so disoriented after that fall that she did not know what she was doing. It was, you can have a whole argument of why she got up and still get money. She's getting paid, right? Who else is getting paid? It's not entirely sure. But all I know is that Offset seems to be a man who has an opportunity to develop better character based on what he's done to his wife, soon to be ex-wife, and what he did in these contract dealings. And also, he might want to take some like taekwondo or karate or something, because it didn't seem like he fared the best in this brawl. He went to Paris and got beat by Europeans. Like, he has no street cred.
Attorney Porter, let's talk really quickly about two things I think is important. Number one is this happened in France, right? And France is a huge tour stop for all hip hop artists. You know, like they make a lot of money there. If he's convicted, he could possibly, have issues of being put out the country, correct? And not being able to go there to get money or to perform.
Exactly. I mean, we saw that with Brittany Griner. You can end up on two ends of the spectrum and both ends suck. Either you're going to end up in jail, or you're going to end up like Nicki Minaj, where the country's telling you you're no longer welcomed here anymore. And for someone like Offset that relies on, being able to travel and tourism and all that stuff to earn money overseas, like, this is just not that look, especially when, like, it really just bothers me when people obtain a certain level of notoriety, fame, wealth, etc., and they continue with the hood shenanigans. All right? You're no longer playing on a hood level. You're no longer doing mixtapes. All right? You're with the whole studio. So I need you to act like you have that studio reputation and not find yourself in these embarrassing and moments that are clearly beneath you. And the only thing that would justify, for me, why Offset felt that he needed to lay hands on this man is his lips. His lips should not be that ashy. I hate Black people with ashy lips. That's the only thing. Other than that, I don't know why you put your hands on him. Like,
really ashy lips.
He wasn't trying to hit him. He was giving him some chapstick, and got misunderstood because of the cultural differences.
Oh, y'all. Well, you know what? I tell you, in France, they do be looking ashy, though.
Okay.
They do be looking ashy. But anyway, all right, everybody. I told you ladies' night was going to be interesting, and interesting it is. Be sure to hit that like button, because the likes aren't liking. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. If you are subscribed, be sure to hit that share button and have some friends come on over here to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion and check out our Legal Beagles, our very astute, as you can tell, Legal Beagles. Also, don't forget to turn on your notifications. Jump down in the comments, because we would like to hear from you tonight if you have any questions as it relates to the cases that we are covering. All right, with that being said, next up, rapper Lil Durk. Rapper Lil Durk pleads not guilty in a murder for hire case. He's pleading not guilty to accusations of being involved in a murder to hire plot, actually. The case has drawn significant attention to its potential impact on his career, the legal battle ahead, and the broader conversation about hip-hop and all of these criminal allegations and activities. Attorney Porter, what say you about Lil Durk in this murder to hire case?
I hope he got a refund. That's all I can say. I mean, honestly, again, the shenanigans. You're operating on a higher level. Like, what are you doing? What situations are you putting yourself into? You guys work so hard to be able to earn this level of fame, notoriety, monetary wealth, and now you're involved in some murder for hire craziness. Like, let's be for real. So, guilty.
So let me ask you, Shaitan, what does conspiracy and complicity mean?
So conspiracy is the concept that you might not have done the bad thing, but you had conversations and facilitated the bad thing. So in this case, if you pay for the hitman, then you have conspiracy to commit murder, even if you're not the person who pulled the trigger. So the lesson for the algoriters is this. As much as you might hate that man and he cheated on you while y'all had kids and was making promises to this other woman, and it's an entire thing. If you don't want to be the one to kill him, you can't pay to be the one to kill him and think you're going to get out of it, right? That's just an example, hypothetically, right? In this case, Lil Durk, he was ignorant of that rule. Like a lot of people make that mistake that somehow being at a distance and only making the order for the hit is different than actually doing the hit. Now, there might be some like odd relative morality that people might be able to convince themselves of that says, I'm not as guilty as if I did it, but you are under the law. So forget about that. You might as well just have the pleasure, if you're a sick MF, of killing someone as opposed to just ordering. Because if you get caught, it's all you. Complicit is a similar concept. Complicit means that your actions were involved in the decision to commit a crime, and therefore you also bear some responsibility for the crime. Now, a lot of us, I might be dating myself, this is an old movie, watch Set It Off, right?
Right.
In Set It Off, there were a group of women who were, and I heard they were remaking it, by the way. I think they should leave it alone, but Hollywood doesn't listen to me. But there were a group of African-American women. They were bank robbers. It was a cool movie because they were the protagonists. Lots of them died. Actually, everybody died, but one of them.
One.
It's a spoiler alert. But anyway, there were people who assisted them in being able to commit the crime. So Dr. Dre is one of the characters in the movie. He gave them guns, he gave them automobiles, and they were used in the commission of the crime. This wasn't something that's played out in the movie, but if it was real life and this all came to light, he would also be facing criminal charges for the bank robberies because he was complicit in the commission of these robberies. So those concepts are just because you're not the one who did the bad thing, if you were involved in the decision making for the bad thing or provided resources that were used for the bad thing, you too might go to jail.
That is very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Anything else we want to share about Lil Durk? He's everywhere. He snitched or something, right? Was he one of the ones that snitched, or we're not sure?
I'm not sure about that part.
I thought he snitched about something. Okay. All right. Last up in tonight's celebrity court, Leah McSweeney versus Andy Cohen and Bravo, and they have landed in court. Leah McSweeney has taken Andy Cohen and Bravo to court, claiming unfair treatment in her lawsuit against the network. This legal showdown could set a precedent for how reality TV contracts are enforced and how stars are treated by their networks. All right, Attorney Porter, you got some inside information about this. Tell us everything.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. And what I know is Andy Cohen can go to hell for what he's done to the Black reality stars over at Bravo. Specifically, this is not his first time being sued, okay? All respect to Sweeney, but she is in no way a trailblazer. 2 Black women have come before her. The first being the HBIC over at Bravo, which is the Nene Leakes. She was the first to sue, a very public case. However, unfortunately, compared to this situation, it didn't fully litigate because it quickly settled thereafter, and she got paid out. Obviously, as a part of the settlement, we see that Nene is no longer welcome back to the network, which is fine. You got to pay me to go away, though. And secondly, the racism that happened with Ebony K. Williams, who's also on the franchise with Sweeney, which is the New York franchise of the show. And all the background investigation and settlement money that was paid to hush all that up and everything that was going on. Hence why New York ended up having to do a total rebrand. Man, the show's not as good to me anymore as it used to be, but the network's been facing these problems. So I think if anything, I would like to give the respect that's owed to the Black women that came first, that paved the way for others to speak their truth.
Whatever happened to all those other cases that we heard about with Andy Cohen? Because it appears to me that they just kind of went away. Remember, he was accused of sexual assault and using drugs and pushing drugs on certain castmates and showing favoritism if they did drugs or participated in kind of his version of freak-offs. Whatever happened to those cases?
That check cleared. Okay.
Well, I don't understand how someone like that can pay these things to go away, but still have their jobs at the network.
I think it mainly has to do with any kind of work environment where you don't want to get rid of someone until you have a good replacement. And I think that's the struggle that Bravo's had or is having right now because Andy has become, remember, he was never the face of the network. He was just kind of, he's sort of a guy behind the scenes. Then he started, being the main face as far as the interview person when it came to the Housewife franchise. And then eventually he kind of became the face of the franchise. Or kind of like, with Charlie's Angels. What was the name of the guy that they would all report to?
Oh, Bosley.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, exactly. That's him. And so because he's so synonymous with the franchise, you got to find someone who's going to be able to capture the spirit. So like he's built an equity. And it's hard to find a replacement. So until they find someone of equal value, he's going to stay around. But trust me, if they would have found someone, he would have been long gone by now.
Got it.
I agree with Attorney Porter. I aspire to be Andy Cohen. Well, not actually, but at least in that kind of like invaluable resource to my organization, right? Because what he has done, he is not real. He's not a housewife. And yet, as she's indicated, he's become the face of this franchise. Like, how is that even a reality? But it is. And because of that, his stock is so high at Bravo that they keep him despite this stuff. But here's what I wonder if the Diddy effect, now it all roads come back to Diddy, right? If Diddy and his case is going to have the same effect as Harvey Weinstein did. So Harvey Weinstein was all based in the Me Too movement, right? Mm-hmm. And all these things came forward and a lot of industry changes occurred. Diddy's case has not gotten a catchy hashtag because you got midgets, you got kids, you got men, you got women, you got everybody. And so I think people just haven't figured out how to capture it. And all the baby oil is just distracting. But what I think is going to happen as a result of the Diddy effect is that all of these, and I don't know about Andy Cohen. Hopefully he's not been engaged in things he's been accused of, because what she's accusing him of is being a pusher, right? And also taking advantage of people's addictions in order to exploit them for the gain of the network, right? So these are very serious allegations, and I don't know if they're true or not. But Diddy is under criminal charges. And so what I hope is that in the future, for people who are accused of like things, that they're not ignored by their employers and people don't continue to be promoted for these things. There's a thorough investigation. Somebody decides what happened. I mean, who would have thought Matt Lauer would have been fired, right?
I know, right?
He went down, yeah. So I think that this Andy Cohen thing, based on the series of like complaints, should result in the same level of inquiry if Bravo wants any credibility with the public. But then again, Trump just got elected, so who knows?
Yep, this is true. All right, everybody, this is a part of the show that we go to you, the jury, to answer any questions that you have. Oh, it looks like no questions. Are we sure we don't have any questions? No questions? Oh, that means the ladies were thoroughly entertaining tonight. All right, let's go to the board.
Your Honor, one thing, though, I wanted to point out because I think it's cool. Dominique Brooks in the chat says Shaitan Turner is the cultural Bible with music and moves. So I just want everybody to know that at least one person thinks I got it. Okay.
Dominique, are you drinking? For the fun ladies night. All right, this is the part of the show that we go back over our cases and we render our guilty or not guilty verdict on the individuals that we covered. Skai Jackson's boyfriend, is he guilty or not guilty of trying to ruin Skai Jackson's career? Attorney Porter, what say you?
Again, like I said, guilty of having that EBT dang-a-lang that don't mess up this girl's life, period, okay? Lock him up, put him away. Skai, go get you the help you need and move on.
Hashtag EBT ding-a-lang. All right, Attorney Turner, what say you?
I have to collect myself because EBT ding-a-ling is the funniest thing I have heard in a long time, and it is so descriptive. So the only
That
thing
EBT dingling, y'all know that EBT dingling. Some good dingling.
It'd be good. It'd be good. But you gotta know how to hit the quick style.
if you're in the projects and you can't rely on your intellect or your money, the EBT dingling is all they got to work with.
Thank you. And they gonna bring it down. That's why you gotta hit it and quit it.
Pop your head off.
But break that back, do all the things, and get you strung out and about to get rid of that good Disney money because you got caught up and strung out. But the only thing I would add to what Attorney Porter said is any grown man that goes by a nickname like Yerky, right? And he is not 12. He is guilty. Bad judgment and likely all of the things he's been accused of. Yerky, and any similar names that are double are just double trouble.
Yerky. Oh my God. All right, I'm Ellen. I'm the judge here in the court in celebrity court, and I'm gonna find them both guilty. Guilty is charged. Him for being EBT Dingaling and her for falling in love with EBT Dingaling. Next up, those are both guilty. I promise you. Next up, former Detroit Lion Antwione Williams. Is he guilty or not guilty for causing or being a part of the insurrection? Attorney Porter, what say you?
He's guilty for being a coon.
Ooh,
Okay.
Attorney Turner. Attorney Turner.
I mean, with Attorney Porter pulling out Jim Crow terms, I am, giving her deference. But yes, guilty.
I'm Alan. I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court, and we're never allowed alcohol back in the chambers again. Yes, he is guilty. Throw the book, throw him under, and make him not allowed to get a freaking pardon. And you know what? Beyond guilty, you're also guilty for being stupid, wearing your badge everywhere you go, and that's how they found you. So good for you. And it's red. Make America great.
You know what my grandma would say, and this ain't right.
The raisin in the milk.
No, that was my dad who said the raisin milk. My grandma would be like, that's what he get for hanging around with all those other folk. He knew he had no business being there.
All right, next
version of he not like us. Okay,
yeah,
exactly.
That's right, exactly. All right, next up, Offset. Is he guilty or not guilty of beating up this French rapper Gazo? Attorney Porter, what say you?
If he was trying to help him out with the chapstick thing, not guilty. If it had nothing to do with his ashy lips, guilty for just being you. Like, no.
Attorney Turner, I know you sending him to jail.
Absolutely. He is guilty of being him and having low character, poor judgment, being an adulterer, and being a fool.
Ooh, well, we know who you don't like. All right, I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court. Unfortunately, I said you're guilty. And you're also guilty for doing stuff like allowing someone videotape you physically, your body kick somebody. Man, I hope you got that good insurance because you're going to need it. Next up, Leah McSweeney versus Andy Cohen. Is Andy Cohen guilty or not guilty of what? Unfair work environment or unfair work harassment, whatever it is. Attorney Porter, what say you?
Andy Cohen is guilty of all of the above. Please remove him from our TV screens. We're good. I think the Housewives franchise is getting faded out anyways. Nobody cares anymore. And so, yeah, goodbye.
Uh-oh. Attorney Turner?
I'm going to take a different approach on this one. I actually am going to reserve judgment and hope we talk about this again because I think this has legs. So I'm going to say not guilty.
Wait, you trying to be a housewife? We don't want to.
Exactly. Shatana, you trying out for a show?
I mean, maybe like
very
for those who don't know, my friend Shatana Turner from undergraduate was a finalist as she tried out for The Apprentice with Donald Trump, by the way, just so you guys know.
Indeed.
So you trying out for a show? Because that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say he is not guilty, because I may have to pitch a show to him.
It might be you. You might become the next Andy Cohen. So yeah, you can vote not guilty too. This is about getting a job.
Not guilty, because I might have to pitch that man a show. All right, everybody, that's going to conclude tonight's show. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, as we wrap up today's session, the law is complex, and the celebrity cases often bring their own unique challenges. Our discussions aim to shed light on these issues and empower you, our viewers, with knowledge. Thank you for your thoughtful questions that we didn't get tonight and your participation down in the chat. And until next time, keep questioning, stay informed, and always remember, in the celebrity court of public opinion, it's a powerful place because it's a place where your voice can and will always be heard. Court is now adjourned.